Yo, RMJ, welcome back to this session. We were just crunching the numbers on that inventory turnover. Ready to see how that 16 days compares to last year? Last year, it took 22 days to clear inventory, but this year, it's down to 16. That's a huge improvement. It means they're selling their stuff way faster, which is great for cash flow. Based on what we talked about earlier with marketing and new stores, why do you think stuff is flying off the shelf so much faster this year? It all comes back to that growth. Because of the marketing campaign, the increase in online delivery, and the fact they opened 10% more stores, there's way more demand. More customers buying stuff means the inventory gets depleted much faster than before. Ready to see how they're handling their own bills with the payables period? Now we look at the other side of the coin. How long TJF takes to pay the people they buy from. This is the payables payment period. We take the trade payables of 2100 and divide by the cost of sales, 18,970. That gives us 40 days. Last year it was 49 days. So they are paying 9 days faster now. Usually businesses want to hold on to their cash as long as possible. So paying faster is considered deteriorated for cash flow. But your notes mention a specific code of practice that came into force this year. Any idea why that might make them pay their suppliers sooner? It's all about the rules. A new grocery supplier code of practice kicked in to make sure big supermarkets treat their smaller suppliers fairly. So even though it's technically worse for TJF's cash flow to pay faster, they're doing it to stay legal and keep their suppliers happy. Last ratio in this set is the interest cover. Ready to knock that out? Almost there. Interest cover tells us how many times the company could pay its interest bills using its operating profit. It's basically a safety margin. We take the 650 in operating profit and divide it by the 200 in finance costs, both from your profit or loss extract. That gives us 3.25. Last year it was 4.08, so it's dropped. This is because TJF took out those long-term borrowings to pay for the new stores, which pushed their interest costs up from 130 to 200. Even though it's lower, they're still making over 3 times what they need to pay the interest, so they're still in good shape. Last question on the homework. Why wouldn't we calculate a receivables collection period for a supermarket? It's because in a supermarket like TJF, nobody gets to take their groceries home and pay for them next month. You pay at the register. Since they don't give customers credit, they don't have receivables, money owed to them by customers to collect. No receivables means no collection period to calculate. Does that make sense? Boom! We just crushed the whole set. TJF is growing fast, selling inventory quicker, and making better margins on close and delivery, even if the expansion costs and new debt are tightening their ratios a bit. As promised, Here are your revision flashcards to lock this in. How are you feeling about these ratios now? Think you're ready to tackle a similar problem on your own next time? You nailed the first half. Calculating the numbers is definitely the foundation. But in accounting, the numbers are just the starting point. The real point of this question is the analysis. Being able to look at that 7.5% and say, hey, our online delivery and clothing sales are actually working. Or looking at a low 0.54 current ratio and knowing not to panic because it's a supermarket. It's about using the math to tell the story of how the business is actually doing. Does that help you see the why behind all these calculations? Spot on. For the calculation part, that's exactly it. You just grab the right formula, find the specific numbers in the financial tables, and do the math. Just remember that usually these questions also want you to explain why the number changed using the extra info they give you, like the new stores or the marketing campaign we saw earlier. But for the math part, yep, you've got the logic down perfect. Anything else on this homework you want to dive into? Or are you feeling like a pro? All right, we're all done here then. You absolutely crushed the logic on these ratios. Keep those flashcards handy for your next session. If you ever get stuck on another problem, you know where to find me. Catch you later.